மச்சா.
So, hi everyone, welcome to another episode of We Rode Together. And on the show today, we have DC fans and MI fan with us, and we'll be discussing the match between Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians. So, without wasting any time, I'm going to start with Mr. Naresh, who's the MI supporter. So, Mr. Naresh, your thoughts on the game between Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians?
Mumbai obviously very confident with that last win against RCB. And have beaten DC in the first game, and the run out of Stoinis was the turning point. And that was the beginning where Mumbai started doing very well in the death. If you see, only 35 or 40 runs were given in the last four after that. And then the total became much more realistic, chaseable. So definitely Mumbai goes in very confident. They're at the top. Their net run rate is not an issue at all. DC will go in with some pressure for sure. They need to get that win tomorrow to stay in contention of the top two. That's very important. I think all teams want to play to be in that top two. So pressure is more on Delhi Capitals, and concern for Delhi Capitals, especially since the last game has been the bowlers giving away quite a few more runs than they would want to. They have probably the best attack in this IPL, and they would want to see Rabada back in the wicket column. He went wicketless last, but that's a great bowling attack to have.
Thank you, Mr. Naresh, on your thoughts. So, Damien, coming to you, your thoughts on the game between Delhi Capitals and Mumbai Indians?
I think it's going to be a fascinating game either way. I think the Capitals started off very well, and they've hit a bit of a block at the moment with the losses that they've incurred. I think it's going to test them if they're looking to go forward now and get into the knockout games. I think it's really going to be important for them now to pick up some momentum, get their batsmen scoring runs. They obviously have the squad depth in the teams that they're putting out at the moment to do that. I just think it's momentum at this moment that they need to get over this first hurdle, and I think against Mumbai, if they can grab a win now, I think it'll be very important going forward. As good as the Mumbai Indians team is, so yeah.
So now, coming to you, Gurkirat, as Mr. Naresh mentioned that Rabada hasn't been amongst the wicket in the last match, so would be looking to make a comeback against Mumbai Indians, who's got a formidable batting lineup. Sky is in good form. Kieron Pollard is there at the death, and Pandya is there. So your expectations from Delhi bowlers?
I think firstly they need to decide if they really want to go ahead with the strategy of opting to bowl first, because in the last two games what has happened is Delhi has won the toss, put the opposition into bat, but they've not been able to restrict them to a good score. I think now's the time they have to go back to what has worked for them so far. Out of the 7 games they have won, I think 6 of them they have won while batting first. So that is the one thing that they need to correct. Although I myself always prefer a team chasing, because the T20 is such a short game that you don't want to lose out on any impetus, and if you know that what you are chasing, you're able to better pace the innings. But that is not working for Delhi. Hence, I think they should go back to batting first and chasing whatever is set, defending whatever the batter set. As far as Rabada is concerned, I don't think that's much of a big concern, because he's been doing the job at the death. What is a bigger concern is that he's not been able to take wickets in the power play. And in the last game, the game was done by the power play was over. When the power play was over, you concede 77 runs in the first 6 overs. Very few, 1 out of 10 games you might win. So that is something that they need to address, and they have to address the fifth bowler issue. Against KKR, Akshar did not bowl at all, because captain was not confident of giving him the ball when Rana and Narayan were batting. And the fifth and sixth bowler, which is Tushar and Stoinis, they conceded 81 in 8 overs. So that is a bit of a worry. Against Punjab also, we saw Tushar Deshpande being taken for runs. He went for 41 runs in his 2 overs. Harshal Patel. He also provides a batting option and can be used as a floater, wherein the teams can set the pace, and he can provide the momentum. Can be used as a pinch hitter, or can also be used as how Saha was used in the last match.
So I'm going to go to Jared. Jared, Delhi bowling has been in contention throughout the IPL. They've done well. And, Enric Nokia, what a find he has been for Delhi Capital. So your thoughts on Enric Nokia bowling with Rabada, and, will we be seeing any wickets from the duo?
Yeah, Anna has been, well, especially for the last 2 years. Anna has been a good find, not only for obviously the Delhi Capitals, but for South Africa. And the partnership that is forming with Rabada, as he said in his article previous weeks ago, that he's actually learning a lot from Rabada and from the bowlers around in the Delhi Capitals. Obviously, it's his first experience of the IPL, but I mean, we've seen what he's done. He's bowling. He's probably the quickest bowler at the tournament, and then there's a lot of fast bowlers there. And those two have formed a good partnership. Going on to the game, I think the Delhi Capitals should look to bat first, because if you look chasing, they haven't been doing so well chasing. The last game, as Gutierrez said, the game was basically over after the power play, conceding 77 for the loss of no wicket in 6 overs. You're always going to be behind the 8 ball. So I think both of them definitely need to strike in the power play tomorrow, because it's two big games Delhi have going forward. Mumbai Indians and RCB, it's two big games, and I really think they need to win tomorrow's game and take confidence in that last game to qualify for the playoffs and hopefully finish as high as possible.
And let's just hope, Delhi does well tomorrow against MI. Both the bowlers, Rabada and Nokia, get some wickets under their belt, so that Delhi would be, thinking, okay, now they've got back into the game. So, Mr. Naresh, coming to you, as a MI fan, who's that one player or maybe two players you fear the most, who can turn the game upside down for your team?
Yeah, definitely. Rabada still is the spearhead attack for Delhi Capitals and would continue to be dangerous and most respected bowler for MI, to respect him as an opponent. Obviously, Rabada will be up there and he's the leading wicket taker still. Middle order batting, yes, Shreyas Iyer and Pant, if on his own day, they can take the game away. Not to forget Shikhar Dhawan at the top. He's got 200s back to back. He would want to do it against Mumbai Indians, his ex-team. And yeah, it's about proving a point. So the top order batting of Delhi and Rabada's bowling would something Mumbai would fear for sure.
Thank you on those thoughts, Mr. Naresh. And, even the Mumbai batsmen have been amongst the runs, especially the way Surya Kumar Yadav batted in the last match against RCB. He has been in phenomenal form. Quinton de Kock is there up the order. And since Rohit Sharma is not there, it would be a bit of concern for them. So, Damien, your thoughts on Quinton de Kock? He has been a phenomenal player in white ball cricket, and he'll be playing against your team, Delhi Capitals. So would you be fearing him as a bowler, as a batsman, as a fan?
I think as a cricket fan, I think it's lovely watching Quinton. I think everyone around the world enjoys watching Quinton de Kock. If he's playing against your team, he's definitely some guy that you want to get out early. He's obviously got the benefit of knowing the two guys that we're relying on in terms of Anna Nokia and KG. So that'll be a very good head-to-head, a very interesting battle, especially up front with the new ball. Yeah, definitely. And I think a game, if we can get him out early, it'll put a lot of pressure with obviously Rohit not being there. If we can get him out early and expose that middle order, then I think it'll be very crucial for us, definitely.
Thank you, Damien. Jared, coming to you, key players whom you actually are looking out to deliver in the game tomorrow against MI from DC. So whom do you think gonna score more runs? Will it be Rishabh Pant, or will it be, the opener Shikhar Dhawan again?
in the T20 game, you would always hope that your openers get you off to a good start. So I think a key play tomorrow will be Shikti Dhawan. He didn't do too well in the last game, but as Naresh said, back-to-back hundreds and looking and playing against his old side. So he's in good touch. It's not like he's out of form. So I'll be looking for Dhawan to set a nice base up front, get a good start, and that'll allow the middle order to come in and just play around him and hopefully push on and get, if batting first, get to the score of 200 and put real pressure on Mumbai. Try and get Quinton and the openers out early and get the likes of Pollard, Pandya in as early as possible. Just to strike some fear in the opposition. That'll be my take. So Shikti Dhawan, I reckon, is the key tomorrow for a W against Mumbai.
Yep. So Delhi hasn't been amongst the runs as a batting unit. They have done well in this year's IPL, but not that much. So would be looking to see how the Delhi batting unit performs. Now, Gurkirat, coming to you. Rishabh Pant hasn't been amongst the runs. He's been struggling against the spin also, and against the pace, he hasn't got that touch in yet. So you think that he'll be a key player to watch out for, because he has been a good player when it comes to play against Mumbai Indians?
Definitely. If you see last season against MI in Wankhede, he played a blinder of an innings. 2018 in the game in Delhi, he scored a 60 odd. So regardless of which game it is or which opponent there is, he will always be a key player. Your number 4 batsman will always be a key player. I hope, just like Sky, how Surya Kumar Yadav played in the last game and showcased the selectors why he shouldn't have been left out. He takes inspiration from Surya Kumar Yadav and plays another such innings, and hopefully turn it up toward turn the favor towards Delhi. Apart from this, how Naresh mentioned and Damien mentioned about Quinton de Kock. Not to forget, in the last game against Delhi, he scored a very good 50, and he's one of those openers in this IPL who have no problem with any sort of pace. You saw in the game against KKR as well how he dealt with Lockie Ferguson. So yeah, he's going to be a very, very, very key player, and I'll be looking at Ashwin, to get us those breakthroughs, because there are 2 or 3 left-handers in the Mumbai batting lineup. There's Quinton de Kock, there's Ishan Kishan, there's Saurabh Tiwari, and there's Krunal Pandya. So 4 left-handers. So I do hope that Ashwin turns up and puts in a good performance.
Yep. So coming to you, Mr. Naresh, your key player you would be looking to watch out for tomorrow.
Well, definitely the top three. The top three. Quinton de Kock feels at home against Delhi purely because of Rabada and Nokia, because he likes to get the ball up on his bat and he scores freely. So definitely the top three. Surya Kumar Yadav definitely is in great form. I'm not sure how Lynn can be fit in. It's all depends on Rohit Sharma's future. Is he around for the playoff? Then I think it's fine to go with the team. Just try to look at if Pattinson can be replaced by Cotton Isle, purely because Cotton Isle varies his pace better. But yeah, the top 3 batters, to be honest, in any team, they play a critical role.
So now coming to the last segment of the episode, Damien, I'm going to ask you, if you were the captain of Delhi Capitals, winning the toss, what you would have fancied after winning the toss?
I think they definitely need to rethink their strategy of bowling first and do the opposite. I think they need to back their batting. I think they've seen that they've been strong in their bowling department, that doesn't necessarily mean that they should be relying on it as their first port of call. I think if they give their bowlers something to bowl at, I think that makes them even more dangerous, because they get 1 or 2 breakthroughs and then you're looking at the most dangerous attack in the IPL, I think. So definitely I'll be looking to bat first. I'll be wanting to get that momentum. As I mentioned earlier, if they get a good momentum from their batting, their bowling is going to get momentum. And I think that's just going to see them through the rest of the tournament.
Thank you, Damien. So Jared, as Damien mentioned, that, win the toss and bat first and give bowlers to bowl at something. So my question would be, if batting first, what should be the score? Will it be above 180 or close to 200? What are your thoughts?
Well, in an ideal world, we would like to score 300 in the game, but I obviously have to take in account of the wicket. Is the wicket going to be slower? Is it going to be flatter? So depends. It's a day game, so I don't think the wicket's going to change that much. No dew. So I think it'll play fair throughout the 40 overs. So ideally, Delhi Capitals win the toss, bat first, score between 180, 200, and Mumbai 120 all out in the ideal world. But I'll say 180 to 200 and put real pressure on the Mumbai, especially with them missing their key batsman. I still believe he's their key, Rohit Sharma, the captain, and get. They say getting 3 in the power play wins you majority of the game. So getting Quinton and getting, as I said, the Pollards and the Pandyas in as soon as possible against the Anders and the Biden and see how they go against real pace. This is my advice.
Yeah. So, Mr. Naresh, what are your takes on that? If Delhi win the toss, they'll bat first. If they somehow manage to score that 182, 200, what would be your strategy?
Yeah,
if you got to bat
180 to
second?
200 a day game in Dubai. We see recently after the power play, it gets a little difficult to score on. It gets slower, and Delhi obviously has good set of spinners. Very, very disappointing. They've not been able to fit in Sandeep yet. But yeah, 180 to 190, then you're looking at Pandyas and Pollard to, be there for the chase. That's going to be very critical. They shouldn't go beyond that, because if they are not at the crease to chase a total of 180, 190, it will get difficult. So
And
again, a good start would be very important for that chase. Yeah.
And your takes, if you win the toss and bat first, what should be the score?
Yeah, around the same 180, 190, because Krunal and Rahul Chahar are doing well in the middle. Pollard is playing the 6th bowler role. So yeah, but again, I think Cotton Isle needs to come in purely because of the variation in pace. Yeah.
So let's hope something like that happens and we get to see a cracker of a game. So now, Gurkirat, coming to you, your thoughts on the projected score if Delhi win the toss, bat first?
See, if we look at the last game yesterday, KKR posted 170 odd and it got chased down. In the previous game, it does definitely get slower, but the power play is going to be key. You still need 180 because if say Coulter Nile plays, okay, you're looking at a batting lineup where there is Krunal Pandya at 7 and Coulter Nile at 8. So you do need that 10, 15 runs extra, which should be the power score. I think the power score for Dubai is 170. So you definitely need 180, 180 odd or 185. And once you have that, then you are also, able to put the opposition in a position where they can't play a lot of dot deliveries. What happened in Abu Dhabi was that the score was around 162. So, even though Mumbai didn't get off to a flyer in the power play, they were still able to make it up because the score wasn't huge. If they had been chasing a 180, maybe their approach would have been a little different and you could have got wickets earlier. So they definitely need 180. And from there on, you have to hope that all the pieces come together and, work out.
So, let's just hope that bowlers from both the teams get some wickets under their belt and batsmen also to get some runs, because cricket is always a balance between bat and ball. And what could you expect between Delhi and Mumbai? I still feel it's going to be a cracker of a game. So before we end this show, I'm just going to hear the chants from the fans of both the teams. So who's going to go first?
I can go. It's still a 50-50, but pre-IPL, my prediction was a Mumbai-Delhi final. So don't worry, I'm still hoping for that. Yeah.
So Damien, Jared, your thoughts?
It's going to be us winning by 15 runs, I think, definitely.
So let's hope, that happens and Delhi get to...
I'll go with my
Yeah,
prediction.
Jared.
Delhi won the toss, bat first, get 180. Mumbai Indians 153. Delhi won by 27 runs.
So good thoughts. Gurkirat, You want to add something to that?
I don't mind if we win by 15, by 27. I just want a win, whether it be by 1 run or in the super over. Just need a win. Also, it will, it will ensure that the head-to-head between Mumbai and Delhi stays 50-50. As of now, it's 13-12. So hopefully it's 13-13 by the end of the day tomorrow.
So let's just hope, we get to see good game of cricket tomorrow, and let's hope Delhi wins it and also makes it to the playoffs, because Mumbai has already qualified for the playoffs, and just hoping Delhi to make it. So thank you everyone for your time, and it's been pleasure hosting you guys on the show.
Thanks, Sunny.
Thank you
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice talk.